Hello everyone, my name is Bartek and I've already recorded this video 3 times, so I'm kind of exhausted, not to mention how much energy I had to put in, making this studio look as good as it does, because my room is just going through an endless renovation and it's a disaster. It looks like if a tornado had passed through it. Anyways, today I'm gonna tell you about a tool that I absolutely love, that has changed my life for the better, and hopefully it will change yours as well. This tool that I'm talking about is called a bullet journal. It's very, very simple. It's just a notebook and what you write in it, and it really helps people change their lives. If you'd like to follow along and create a bullet journal of your own, I've created a list of the things I've used down in the description, but you will need a moleskin journal. It's fantastic, quite costly, but I personally believe it's worth it. It's beautiful and great. I also use these calligraphy pens by Zig, water-based dye ink. I don't know if I'll be able to find them on the internet. Never mind, I got them from my friend. Also, an Edding 345 copy lighter, grey color, or any grey copy lighter for that matter, and a razor or rubber for my British friends. 2 fine liners by Stabilo are the ones that I use, 1 grey, 1 black, a pencil Energel liquid gel ink 0.5 needle tip, a mechanical pencil or any pencil, and a ruler. So this is everything that I used to create this bullet journal. Anyway, let's just jump right into it without any further ado. Now, if you have not heard about what bullet journaling is, well, a bullet journal is pretty much anything you want it to be. That's just the shortest way I can put it. It's anything. If you want it to be a calendar, it's a calendar, it's a task manager, it's a journal, it's anything you want it to be. Let me just quickly get through it. If you're more interested about the concept of bullet journaling, there are tons of videos on YouTube about that, and there's also an official website. Go ahead, because this is a concept that's going to change. Well, I can't say it's going to change your life because it's a tool and different tools work for different people, but it changed mine and possibly it can change yours as well. So this is just the first spread, because a spread is a page. I have no idea why this fancy naming, but this is my 2021 spread, and next to it I've got the keys to my BUJO. This is completely stolen. This is not something I've thought of. I just saw it somewhere on the internet. I used it. I will not be able to credit someone who thought of this because I don't remember where I saw it. I just saw it, I copied it, I stole it. I am a stealer. Anyways, these are not the official bullets that are on the bullet journal website, but these are just bullets that work for me. So I put my events in circles, my appointments with triangles, tasks with squares, and these are some of my custom bullets. So a deadline is just a circle with a line going through its middle. A note is just this squiggle. A memory, something I use very often, is this little heart. This star is that something is important. This little present is someone's birthday, and this, camera is a movie that I watched on a particular day. If I cancelled something, it's just gonna have a line through its middle. If something has migrated, it's gonna have this little arrow to the right, and if something was rescheduled, it's gonna have the arrow to the left. At the beginning, this might sound a bit confusing, but I'm gonna talk about that further on in the video. The next spread is my grid. So this is just something that is here because I don't want to count every single time where is the middle of the spread, or 1/3 or 1/4, and this is just here. And next, the st.art spread, which I also have written down on my desk. So as you can see, this is some kind of my motto. I just want to get started doing things, especially creating things. This just helps me remind myself about that. My next spread is my best of 2020 spread. So this is still not finished. I'm going to show you my best of 2018 spreads just in a sec. But this is generally doodles of the best memories from that particular year. There you go. So as you can see, this is just doodles of the best memories, and it's awesome because when I look at it, I see at a glance the most happy and the best memories from that particular year. Alright, the next thing is 2020, a year in review, because most people just begin planning the next year without even reflecting on the previous one. So this is something I believe is truly crucial, because you should always try and learn from the past, from your mistakes, and from anything really. So this is my way of doing that. I just ask myself 6 very straightforward questions. What went right? What went wrong? Where did my time go? Lessons for 2021? What problems am I facing? And how should I invest in myself next year? Moving on, the next spread is my vision. I've got a 10-year vision and a 1-year vision. A 10-year vision because I believe that 10 years is just an amazing amount of time. I mean, in 10 years I'm going to be 28, which is still incredibly young, but also 10 years is such a long period of time. I feel like I can accomplish literally anything in 10 years, and that's why I feel like it's a great amount of time to set a vision for. Now obviously 1-year vision because I want to be able to set my goals for this year based upon some vision of how I'd like my life to look like in 1 year. So this is how I do that. Level 10 life. This is a concept that I've just seen somewhere on the internet and I liked it and I used it. And as you can see, you've got 10 categories of life. So you got family and friends, health, environment, giving, fun, career, finances, spirituality, development, and productivity. And you just rank yourself in these categories from 0 to 10. And based upon this ranking, you can see which areas are the ones you need working on. And you can also just, write down the methods that you will use to work on these areas. Very simple and straightforward. Let's go further on. My next spread is a bucket list. I just figured I'm going to write it down because I have many ideas of what I want to do in life, but I often just forget about them. So I'm going to have a place to write down, these cliche things like skydiving and bungee jumping, or owning a house in Tuscany in here, so I can remind myself that I do have dreams. And speaking about dreams, this is my biggest dream spread, which is still not finished because I haven't had the time, but it's generally something I had to do because I had to fill out this page as I wanted this to be a double spread. But it also reminds me of my biggest dream, which is owning a van and being able to travel and work at the same time. My next spread is 2021 goals, but I don't think this is a proper naming for that spread because it's actually 2021 action plan. As you can see, I not only listed down the goals that I want to accomplish this year, but I've also written down the exact steps I need to take to actually accomplish these goals. And this is something I truly believe is the key to accomplishing these goals, because as you can see, I've deconstructed every single goal into small actionable tasks that I can literally rewrite in a particular place and time so I can make sure that I will accomplish them. So, for example, if I've got the goal, have 10 graphic design clients, and I've deconstructed this goal to very tiny tasks like pick a book about lead generation, I can take that task, pick a book about lead generation, and schedule it so I accomplish it, for example, on the 15th of January. And when I write it down here, I'm very likely to accomplish it because that's not a big task. I can just literally look online for a few minutes and I'll probably find a good book about lead generation. So this is the way to accomplish goals, but I'm not going to be talking about that too long for now because it's a topic for a separate video. So my next spread is rules for life, and as you can see, it's completely empty because I have absolutely no rules for life. I'm totally unscrupulous and I can do whatever the hell I want. No, but seriously, I just also thought that this would be a topic for another video, so I'm going to talk about that hopefully quite soon. So this is the day spread. The entire thing, the entire BUJO, everything that's written here, this is not carved in stone, okay? So this is flexible. This is just a tool that is supposed to help me make my life as good as possible. And this is my morning and my bedtime routine. This is not something I have to strictly stick to. It's just something that I'd like to accomplish every single day. So as you can see, I've got my wake up time at 5 a.m, which I do not do now because I don't need to. I'd like to because I really like waking up in the morning. but right now I don't have to wake up that early, so my entire day is shifted by 1 hour. But maybe I will go back to waking up at 5 when it's maybe a bit less wintry outside, because I simply like doing that. So hey, that's my morning and my bedtime routine. The next thing is, well, actually the first thing that should be in a bullet journal, and probably, yeah, this is the first spread that you actually might need in a bullet journal. Everything before that was totally optional and unnecessary. If you'd like to omit that, go ahead. This is the future log, and what this spread is about is that, as you can see, most of my notebook, most of my BUJO is completely empty, unfilled. And that's because you create your bullet journal on the go. So the last thing I have is 31st of January, which means that if an event pops up in April, I would normally have no place to write it down in. But this is the place to write it down, because I can just write it down here, and then when I'll be creating my weekly spreads for April, I'll just look, okay, I've got an event, and I'll write it down in the appropriate place. So this is the future log. I also got my birthdays here, as you can see. I'm going to be also writing down the rest of the birthdays for the year. This is a monthly spread. This is something you'll probably see in every single bullet journal on the internet. So this is just January written down, my month at a glance so I can see which day is which day, and my habit tracker, which is just something I use to see how well I do in certain habits. So these are my habits: wake up before 6:30 a.m, pray every day, move every day, do not watch TV shows or movies during the weekdays. That's also why I've got weekends marked here. Do not eat sweets. Now, as I mentioned, this is flexible. It's not like I never eat sweets. I just want to limit the amount of sweets I eat, and this is here to help me. Create something every day, bullet journal every day, read every day, and go to bed before 10:30 p.m. Also, I've got my gratitude log, which you won't see right now because January has not started for the moment being, but I'll every day be writing down what I'm thankful for every single day. Now, the next thing I have is something that I'm really proud of, because this is my monthly action plan, and I believe it really helps accomplish the goals that you want to accomplish. So I've written down 2 types of goals for this month: my personal goals and my career goals, and I've also deconstructed them into smaller actionable tasks and assigned them to each single week in the month. And then when the week comes, I'll just rewrite them into very particular places, very particular days, and that helps me accomplish these goals. And also I've got other tasks, which is, you know, just things I forgot to write down here, or just things that came up during the month. And obviously the last thing, which is the weekly spread, and I think it's just very straightforward. I've used 2 pages this year. I managed to do that on 1 page last year, but I just found it limiting. So every day in the evening I'll sit down, I'll open up my BUJO, and I go through the tasks that I've accomplished that day. I will write down what happened that day as a way of journaling and writing down my memories, and I'll just write down the task that I want to accomplish the next day. And this is possibly the best way for me to manage my time and to accomplish the tasks that I want to accomplish. There's one more thing I'd like to show you, but I still have not created it in this bullet journal just because January has not even started yet, and this is a monthly review. So this is March 2019 review, and I just asked myself what worked that month, what didn't work that month, and lessons learned, as well as how much time I spent on each particular subject in my life. I use a time tracking app called Toggle, I guess, and it's just a place for me to reflect on. Something I am planning to add here in this review spread is actually how much % of each of these habits I managed to stick to during the month, because this is worthless if you do not actually reflect on what you've done. So there you have it. This is my 2021 bullet journal setup, and if you'd like to set it up, feel free to copy anything that I've done here. And yeah, I hope that 2021 will be the best year for you ever, and at least better than 2021, please. Although all things considered, it wasn't that bad for me, at least personally. I wish you all the best and see you soon, hopefully. Bye bye.